So good morning, David, and welcome to Business Spotlight series. David is the managing director of After Digital. Based in Glasgow, they operate all over the globe, working with some of the biggest names in the arts and culture sector, utilities, and e-commerce to transform their digital presence. So David, would you like to tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got into setting up After Digital?
Yeah, and thanks for having me, Javier. I suppose with the limited time we have, I won't go back to the the very beginning, but I've been involved in digital now for almost 20 years. So prior to setting up my own company, I was a director of another digital agency. So I guess being a director from 29, I'm now 44. I think my ambition was always to either run or own my own business, and just over 7 years ago, we made the decision to set up After Digital, and I guess with the thinking that I would sort of take the learnings from all the things I think I'd seen done wrong and all the things I'd seen done right from various other experiences and bosses, and then really tried to create a company that people would want to work for. We did good work, the culture was good, something that I would be proud of, and that's kind of where what started it, certainly 7 years ago, that idea of trying to do something myself.
Brilliant. And David, since you started, what have you enjoyed the most in the journey?
So many things. I think the obvious part is the business is only as good as the people that we employ. So having and you don't necessarily run a business to make friends, but I think through the process of working with like-minded people and good people, you build up friendships and relationships. So I think hiring really good people, seeing those people really flourish and grow, and it's been a big part of the After Digital journey, where ideally we promote from within. Yes, of course, as we grow, we have to hire external people in. But I think in the more senior positions, we've always tried to have that continual learning idea where, so many of the senior team really did start off in kind of more junior to middleweight roles. So to see that growth and development over the years, and then now have them, alongside me helping run the business, has been a major plus point, amongst others.
Yes, no, very good, excellent. What team do you have at the moment? How many people do you have in the team?
So, given the news which I'd shared with you earlier, Javi, the merger, so we've kind of doubled in size now with, I guess, the company that we've merged with. So at the moment, our headcount is 26, but the merger is all about increasing that growth. So there are plans over the next sort of 12 to 24 months about the seats on the bus that we need to fill, as it were, to really achieve our ambition.
Yeah. I always say that having the right number of people in the right place, doing the right thing and doing it rightly.
Yeah.
Therefore, right. Yeah. Great. So what are your ideas for expansion then with post-merger?
So the company that we have merged with is a company called Peppered, who are based in the Netherlands. So without going into too much detail, Peppered are were a partner of ours, so the services were very complementary, and I think we realised that together we could achieve even more. So Peppered have a very big market share in mainland Europe, so in the kind of Benelux region, and we have the After Digital brand has a good foothold in the UK and the US. So the view is always to be to grow internationally, but I think now with the merger, the joint sort of brand awareness across from the US to Europe will really give us a great platform to take that even further. And then within that, there is obviously the sort of cross-selling, cross-fertilization of services that we offer, services that Peppered offer, that we've already seen have really resonated with the few clients that we've worked with already. So yeah, very much that, to just continue to grow together and accentuate and amplify what each other does.
Very good. Many businesses are finding recruitment a challenge. Are you finding the same thing in your industry?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things when people say like times are uncertain. I guess there's always uncertainty in the future. I guess things have got even more uncertain and more fluctuating. But in the same token, we've always found recruitment hard. So whether it was a year ago, 3, 5, finding good people is one of the hardest things to do. And I think, yeah, for sure, it feels like the market has got tougher. I think for obvious reasons, in terms of the shortage of talent, therefore the price of that goes up if you want to look at it that way. And I think just in general cost of living. So I think finding those people that can really add and take the business forward has got tougher. And yeah, I think we've been saying it for the past year or so. Probably the biggest limiting factor to our growth. So I guess one of the positive things of a merger is that actually by the two companies coming together, although not initially, seeing the benefit, we would hope over the next sort of 6 to 12 months that each of the teams, where there's maybe like synergies or areas of expertise that we can grow and understand each other's businesses and help each other. So I think the merger in itself is like a very quick way of recruiting people. But yeah, it's extremely tough and continues to be that way in terms of really finding good people for sure.
How about, you mentioned culture, how about blending the two cultures? Have you...
Well, I was going to say, yeah, I think, the owner of Peppered I met 4 years ago. And, I guess at that level, we continued a conversation because we felt, I think, one, we enjoyed each other's company, and two, we felt that our ways of thinking, our ways of running a business was similar. But I guess as MDs, CEOs, you might think that, but the reality is maybe not the case. But we had a really nice kind of runway of a year or so of working together. So that was a nice way of seeing really a proof of concept to see how the teams may or may not work together. Thankfully, on the first project, the teams, the people involved really did seem to work with and get on well. And then subsequent projects, it's just continued that way. So that was, having that year of working together is maybe a little bit different to, I guess, when the teams don't know each other and it's all completely new. So we had the benefit of seeing how the cultures did align, and yeah, up until now, and obviously moving forward, we're hoping that we'll continue to foster that and align the two of them even more.
Good, yeah. On motivation, what motivates you, David? What's your drive?
I think there's going back to the things that I've took real pleasure in is providing an environment for people to grow and do their best work. So seeing that as an obvious one. I think the market that we now serve, so to your introduction, yes, and historically e-commerce, we've done some work in utilities, but this merger now, Javier, is really doubled down the focus on arts, culture and entertainment. So I think the subject matter, the sector that we work for is a very rewarding sector to be part of, in terms of the amazing clients and the amazing output that they have. So from Honolulu Museum of Art to the Old Vic to the South Bank to Antwerp Symphony Orchestra, the type of work that we do and the clients that we do it for is very rewarding. And I dare say, when the opportunity presents itself, we may or may not, be privy to a free ticket or not or so as well to these amazing places. Obviously not popping over to Honolulu every week or so, but yeah, it's very rewarding working with these organizations and what they do is a big part of that as well.
Okay, good. With all the management experience you have under your belt, David, is there anything you would do differently if you were to start again?
I think it's that classic one of, I wouldn't look back. I think where I've got to is the sum of all the successes and failures, probably more failures than anything. So in terms of doing something differently, I think every day we're trying to kind of like learn from what we've done and make stuff better. And even this merger, we're trying to bring together the collective experiences and brains of everyone to really, you know, take that forward, so that the more, it's almost like the more people who failed in the room, the more you can learn from that and take forward. But in terms of maybe one thing, I think, you know, I think age comes with its benefits, and, you know, maybe in my late 20s, early 30s, I maybe wouldn't have reached out for help as quickly as I would do now. I think understanding that there are many other people, I'm sure you know this, Javier, out there with similar issues, similar problems. And I think actually understanding and being in networks where, you know, you can have those conversations, you can be vulnerable, you don't have to, you know, you don't have all the answers, you don't, you know, you can't solve it all yourself. So I think yeah, probably, you know, setting off again now is that maybe understanding that you don't have to do it all yourself, and nor should you, and you know, and you don't have all the answers, and actually bringing other people in is one that people are very keen to help and share, and just having that, yeah, that mindset that, you know, you can ask people for help.
That's a brilliant learning. Thanks for sharing that, David. What does the future look like, and what do you see as the main challenges moving forward?
I mean, again, I touched upon it earlier, like people say about, you know, uncertainty. I don't think anybody's ever been that sure about what the future brings. In terms of you know, what will the future bring? I think one of the things we are doing with this merger is trying to move to a more recurring revenue or SaaS-based model, where we're less not immune to, but kind of mitigate against the kind of boom or bust nature of a lot of things around, you know, what's the pipeline looking like for the next 6 to 12 months? Where is new business going to come from? So I think a big part of what we're doing now in the merger is to try and create a really stable platform for growth that isn't so dependent on maybe one large client or like you know, massive business development effort. So just being a bit more in control of our own future, and having yeah, a more steady stream of income. So I think we're going to sort of really double down on that, and maybe move away from those, yeah, maybe more one-off ad hoc type projects that, yes, can be lucrative as a one-off thing, but actually having more security around yeah, kind of monthly recurring revenue across multiple clients.
Yeah, very good. Excellent. And what do you see your main challenge at the moment, David?
And you mentioned earlier, I think it's still that people factor, where I just think obviously within your own budget, I think we like capacity and work just never seem to align 50-50. There's always either you don't have enough capacity, or the other way, obviously worse, is if you have too much. But it's yeah, I think that continual drive to find good people, get them on board and get them into the company and up to speed. That's still, yeah, it's been a challenge for a while, and I think it will continue to be.
Okay. Do you have any advice for your 18-year-old self?
I think again, I said earlier, you know, don't be scared to ask for help. You know, you can't do it all. Advice to my I once there was a chap I met at a conference, and his advice to his 18-year-old self, and I will steal it, is invest in good shoes. That was I mean, I don't know how relevant that is to the business world, but no, I think, you know, my 18-year-old self, it would still be that thing around, like, you know, you are vulnerable, and people are often there and happy to help, and actually, you know, so yeah, so don't be scared to ask for help, I think would still be the sort of core message back then.
Brilliant. Before we wrap up, is there any particular event or offer you would like to share with those watching this recording that would like to sign up to?
I mean, we have our own series of sort of webinars and various other things, certainly around the announcement of the merger. But keep an eye on LinkedIn. We'll be doing a series of digital marketing webinars with a partner of ours called Grapeseed, which will be available for sign up, I think, in the next 2-3 weeks, which will be a series of 3 webinars, just giving some free advice around the general trends and changing habits on digital marketing, specifically in the kind of arts marketing and sort of culture sector. So keep an eye out for that, and they're free. So yeah, feel free to sign up.
Fantastic. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. And David, it's been a real pleasure to have you join us today on our Business Spotlights and for sharing your experience, wisdom so candidly with us today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.